Morning, everybody. It's Tuesday morning. I didn't get anything uploaded yesterday. It'll all be up today. I'm going to try to do it in order. I still don't have the hula hoop footage, and then we filmed some more footage last night at Best Buy that I don't have. It's actually on my wife's iPhone, so I've got to try to get that off there today. But I had to go to work, so as soon as I get home, I'll try to pull that and upload it. Basically, what happened last night, well, yesterday we kind of, after our meetings and stuff, and I filmed the bike video. I don't know, I just felt like not doing anything, and so I just kind of sat around instead of getting everything uploaded. And then when we got home last night, I was going to do it, and I left the cameras in the car and was just like, I just don't want to deal with it tonight. I'll deal with it in the morning. So yesterday, we let our chickens out and fed them and everything. They're still pretty new, so we only let them out a little bit at a time, to the point where we can start letting them out all day and not worrying about them. And then we decided to go to eat. There was a restaurant in town. It had been in town before, and the building that they were in was slated for demolition because they were turning that whole area into a Sonic. So they were taking out our old Sonic and this Mexican food restaurant. So they've reopened, and so we decided to go over there and eat. And so when we were done, we decided to go to Petco. We had to get something. I think we're growing mealworms for the chickens or something, who knows. I'm not a part of all that. I don't want to deal with any worms or anything. So when we were leaving, it was 8:51 when we were in the car, and I said, y'all want to run to Best Buy? I want to go look at a camera, because a lot of people on YouTube use this Canon ELPH 110HS, and they had it for sale for $149 at Best Buy. I think it was just for yesterday. It may be for the whole week, but it was just on their President's Day sale ad. So we went to look at it, and when we were driving over there, my wife said, if you can get in and out of Best Buy before 9, which means that the receipt has to read before 9 o'clock, then you can have that camera. And I was like, okay. And the bad thing about making bets with me, especially on stuff like that, especially something that I wanted, you end up losing, because it may not look like I'm hurrying, like I was just walking through Best Buy, but I knew I could get it done. I knew how fast their systems are. I bought plenty of stuff at Best Buy, so I knew how quick the register systems and everything was, and there was nobody in there. We were literally the only customers in the whole place. Well, I think there was one other lady looking for a cable or something. So the girl grabs the camera because they didn't have any in the box, and she looked it up, and she said that they have 2 in Laredo, and she could have them shipped in, and they'd still give it to me for $149. And I was like, I could just order it online and save myself the trouble and order it off Amazon or whatever. I'm sure Amazon has it for the same price right now anyway. And I think the Staples next door to Best Buy even had them for that cheap at one point in time. So anyway, I said, okay, well, it's no big deal, we'll just order it online. She was like, oh, I'm so sorry, because I told her that I had to have a camera bought before 9. So we were leaving. My wife said, why didn't you ask if you could get a GoPro? And I said, because they're $400. Now, granted, I know they have a $199 one, and I know they have a $299 one. They have the white and the silver, but if you're going to pay for something, you might as well pay for the Wi-Fi remote and the waterproof housing and all of the cables and the extra mounts and everything. So she said, well, if that's what you want for your, and she said, well, just consider it your birthday. You've got like a minute and a half to get it bought. Okay. I grabbed it and I kind of ran up front. Not much of a runner right now. And so I got up there, and there was only one register open, nobody else in it. The young lady rang it up, and I swiped the card, hit OK, and then the receipt printed out, and she had to have it taken out of their big plastic box because they try to keep them safe. And I grabbed the receipt, and it said 2100, which means 9 o'clock, which means I got it right on the dot. I probably had maybe 10 or 12 seconds to spare. Plus, I think their system was a little slow anyway. I think it might have been at least a minute slow, but either way, the receipt said 2100, so I am now the proud owner of a GoPro Hero 3 Black Edition. I'm not filming with it yet because I thought I had the right type of memory card for it. It takes a micro SD, and it needed to be class 10, and I thought I had a 16 gig class 10, but when I looked at it, it ended up being a 8 gig class 4. So I've got to go today and actually get one. And then what's cool is that I can keep using the same mount that I have the flip on now. I just have to get this little adapter that screws down, and then it's got the clip piece for the GoPro. The GoPro uses this other system where it's got these two plastic circle pieces on the bottom that have got a hole through them, and you bolt everything down. And so the mount actually has two more of those, so they fit in between, and then you just stick a bolt through and tighten it down, which is actually really cool. And it means that I don't have to, if I want to use it on the bike cam, which is really cool, I just have to have that little adapter. But what I think I'm going to do on the bike is I'm still going to use the Ultra HD on the bike facing me, because I actually like that camera, and I watched that footage and it actually turned out pretty good. It's not as wide as I'd like, but I can always adjust it. But I can put the GoPro, I can buy the mount for the GoPro for like $19. So I can either put it on the seat behind me, you know, underneath on the seat post, or I can put it facing forward on the handlebars. So I have options. Sorry if there's solar flare coming in. For some reason, I'm coming in later, so the sun's in a different place this morning. Let's see if I can fix it. Anyway, so it was pretty cool. I ended up with a GoPro. I'm super excited about it, because I wanted one eventually when I really got into this, but I'm really getting into this now. I just have to start making sure I make the time to get everything uploaded every day. And my editing rig's coming along. Anyway, don't want to just talk about that. That was my exciting news for the day. Something I did want to talk about. This is my Tuesday topic, so this one might be a little long. The video might be. I've been in the computer business for about 20 years. It'll be, my first computer job was 20 years ago this coming up June. I worked for a guy, this is pre-internet, so he had a old bulletin board system. You had to dial in with your modem. It was all text, but he had I guess like a helpline for computers and stuff, especially ones he sold. He sold these high-end computers that he actually built into the desk. It was actually really cool, and I don't know why people don't do it now, but it was really cool. These custom desks from Germany, and the computers were all hand-built into these metal cases, and they were all, it was in the desk, and the monitor was in glass, and when you sat down at the desk, it was buried into the desk, and you could see it was cool, and the keyboard was built into the desk. It was really, for 20 years ago, that was like extremely high tech. And so I worked for him, and he taught me basically how to work on computers and got me interested. Before that, I was just doing, manual labor jobs or working in kitchens or doing retail stuff. So anyway, I guess I've never thought of myself as like a nerd or a geek. You know, somebody say, oh, you're such a computer nerd. Here's the thing. When I get home, I use my computer to surf the internet and watch YouTube videos. Now upload my YouTube videos. And occasionally I might have to work on a document or something. I don't get on there and play games. I did at one point in time. I used to play Diablo 2 back in the day. But I don't play games on it. I don't go home and work on my computer. Now I've been working on the editing rig, but I don't really consider myself like a computer geek. I know a lot about computers. I've been doing it a long time. And somebody the other day said, oh, you're such a computer nerd. And I'm like, what does that even mean? It means that I'm good at my job. You know, I don't follow all the newest trends on computers. I couldn't tell you what the newest Intel and AMD processors are. I have no idea. Used to keep up with it. Don't care. So I'm in it. I'm in the computer industry because I make money at it, and it's something that I know very well. If I could go and make the same money doing something that I really loved, I would in a second. But you know, when it takes you forever in life to figure out what you're good at or what you love, you can't just stop and start over. It just doesn't work. And so it bothers me sometimes when people are like, oh, you're such a nerd or you're such a geek, and I'm like, but then I think about it, it's my idea of a nerd or a geek is completely different than other people. If I think somebody's a nerd, I don't think of somebody that studies all the time and all that. You know, book smart people I don't consider nerds, geeks, anything like that. You're smart. It is what it is. My idea of who's like nerdy or geeky are guys that go out with foam swords and hit each other in the park, or spend their Friday and Saturday nights sitting in the back of a comic book store playing Dungeons and Dragons. But it's not even fair to them. That's what they love, and there's no reason to call them that because that's what they love. So that's one thing I try not to do, even though I still do it, especially with people that LARP. But just something about that is just way too nerdy for my taste. But that's something I never got into. I'm not into sci-fi. The most sci-fi I get into is like Tron. Other than that, I'm not really into all that. I'm more into making videos now, playing guitar. I have a big guitar collection, and I love the outdoors. I'm not really that geeky type of person, and if I could walk away from the computer industry and make money, I would do it in a second. So just be careful when you call people nerds, geeks, things like that. Some people, it doesn't bother them. They're proud of that moniker. It bothers me because I'm not. There's nothing about what I do that would follow that stereotype. I just work in the computer industry, that's it. So anyway, it's not really a big rant. It's just something that's always on my mind when people say stuff like that. You know, somebody will go, I don't know what's wrong with my computer, and I'm like, did you try this? And they're like, oh, that fixed it. You're such a nerd. And I'm like, how do you figure? Because I'm smarter than you, and I figured out your computer problem when it was really simple to figure out, and now I'm the nerd. So anyway, that's all I gotta say about that, I think. It's not that big of a deal. It's just something that's been on my mind since I started doing the videos. But anyway, I'm gonna try to get this other mount for the GoPro so I can put it in the car and use it. And then I have the waterproof case now, so when my friend's pool gets warm enough for us to swim in it again. Good Lord, dude. I'm trying to get over it. This guy keeps speeding up. his pool gets clean and warm, then I've got the waterproof piece for the GoPro. And on the GoPro, something else that's really, really, really cool is that I can access it and actually see what it's seeing through my iPhone, which is so crazy, because I don't have the LCD back for it. And GoPros, if you've never seen them, are really tiny, and they don't have an LCD on them. They just have, well, they do. They have one on the front, and it just gives you a little bit of data, so it kind of tells you what it's doing. And I've got the Wi-Fi remote to start recording and stop, and it's got some information on its little LCD. But when you hook it up to your iPhone through Wi-Fi, then it does remote viewfinder, so I can actually see everything that the camera sees through my iPhone, and then control when it starts and stops and all that. And that is like the coolest thing ever. So anyway, I think that's it. I'm getting close to work, so I will sign off for the day. The vlogs will start getting a little more interesting. I just had to get some talking out of the way, and it's kind of what I do. I talk. So hopefully tomorrow I might do a story. We'll see. It depends on what goes on today, the rest of today, and then in the morning. So I don't have anything to complain about. I'll tell you guys a story tomorrow. So anyway, give me a thumbs up if you like it. Please subscribe. If we can get more subscribers, I want to do some giveaways. I've got some extra flip cams, so I've got a couple to give away, and then I've got some gift cards and stuff that I can give away, but I need more than just a couple of subscribers to make that happen. So make sure you tell your friends to subscribe, and if we can, when we get up to 50, I'll give something away, and then I'll do it at 100, and then 200, and then so on. So anyway, you guys have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.